long time ago, I learned something about this big, wide open West of ours. You know, when a man rides out here, he feels bigger himself. He sort of grows up, expands like the country around him. Pat and I were on our way to take over a ranch that we'd never seen. A fine old lady, the late Mamie Weston, wanted us to run it as a boys' ranch. A home for city boys, underprivileged boys, just boys. A swell idea, and we didn't suspect for a minute that anybody was out to stop us.
They're on their way. Just seen them crossing Clark's Ferry.
They?
He ain't alone. Got some saddle tramp with him.
Are you sure it was him?
I told you, I know Autry from the rodeo circuits.
How long ago did you see him?
An hour ago, Canyon Road.
Yeah, well, where'd you leave that filly?
Where he can't miss it. How can anybody miss a pinto pony hobble at roadside?
Come on.
Loose horse.
Not loose, Pat. Hobbled. Here.
Cute little horse, ain't she?
Little Champ seems to think so.
Hey, look at that brand, the W. Maybe little Champ's found himself a new girlfriend.
We'll take her along and see how she feels about it.
Head for cover.
Hold these horses here. I'll take Champ with me.
Hit Autry. There goes his horse.
That other fellow's only a saddle tramp. What are we waiting for?
Where's that other horse thief?
What other horse thief?
The fellow with you.
Gene Autry ain't no horse thief.
Where is he, clown?
Right behind you, clown. Gather up your hardware, Pat. We'll take him to the ranch and let the sheriff settle it.
Sheriff, that pinto is a stolen horse, and we caught these fellas red-handed.
Look at the brand on this horse, Sheriff. Why would Pat and I steal a horse from a ranch that we're out here to run?
And since when are you running the Flying W?
Starting tomorrow morning.
Oh, that's great. A couple of strangers turn up with a tall tale. Are you going to believe them?
Autry's no stranger to me. I'm Tim McBride. My brother's sheriff in Tombstone.
Oh, yes.
He tells me you helped him clean up the Waller gang down there.
It's the other way around. He helped me. Give them back their guns, Pat. Here's your pinto. It was a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding, he calls it. What do you call it, Sheriff?
Well, as a matter of fact, I don't know what to call it.
Why, didn't anybody ever bring in a horse thief before?
Sure, but this is the first time a horse thief ever brought in the fellows that claim he's a horse thief. It's your word against his.
That's right. And you're going to have to back one of us. Now, which one?
Well, in this case, I'm going to have to back Autry.
Well, then, in this case, you're going to need some backing yourself come election time. Come on, let's get out of here.
Sheriff can't please all the people all the time. There goes 4 votes.
Don't you worry, Sheriff. When me and Gene get to run in the Flying W, we'll get you plenty of brand new voters.
Unfortunately, they'll be too young to vote, Patrick. Sorry we're late, Mr. Pickett. We were detained by the sheriff.
Oh. Yeah, but it was all a mistake.
Glad to see you boys. Go on inside. I'll be right along.
Go ahead, Pat. Pretty Mary, won't you let me take you home tonight? Pretty Mary, we'll be riding 'neath the moon so bright. Pretty Mary, I'll be holding on to you so tight. I'll be waiting at the door with a love forevermore. Pretty Mary, I'll be courting you tonight. That sure is a pretty dress you're a-wearing with the little pink flowers and the little bluebirds. That sure is a pretty dress I'm declaring with the little pink flowers and the little bluebirds. You sure are pretty and you make me sigh, like a rose on the vine that kisses the sky. Too pretty for words and you catch my eye, with the little pink flowers and the little bluebirds. Pretty Mary, won't you let me take you home tonight? Pretty Mary, we'll be riding 'neath the moon so bright. Pretty Mary, I'll be holding on to you so tight. I'll be waiting at the door with a love forevermore. Pretty Mary, I'll be courting you tonight. That sure is a pretty pair of slippers you are wearing with the little pink flowers and the little bluebirds. That sure is a pretty pair of slippers I'm declaring with the little pink flowers and the little bluebirds. You sure look pretty at the dance tonight. With your head on my shoulder, I'll hold you tight. With your little red cheeks and your eyes so bright. With the little pink flowers and the little bluebirds. Pretty Mary, won't you let me take you home tonight? Pretty Mary, we'll be riding 'neath the moon so bright. Pretty Mary, I'll be holding on to you so tight. I'll be waiting at the door with a love forevermore. Pretty Mary, I'll be courting you tonight. Pretty Mary, I'll be courting you tonight. Pretty Mary, I'll be courting you tonight. Pretty Mary, I'll be courting you tonight.
Oh, why, thank you, Mr. Autry. You should have been here yesterday. I accidentally broke another record, but you weren't here to sing it.
Which record of Gene's did you break yesterday?
Maybe it wasn't one of my records, Pat.
Is there any others?
Oh, there's Enrico Caruso. On the record I broke yesterday, he was singing the most famous of all operatic arias, Ridi Pagliacci. It's too bad you weren't here to help me solve that problem, Mr. Autry.
With that problem, I might have needed a lot of help, huh, Pat?
Don't ask me. I ain't no Caruso, but I can try. Ridi Pagliacci. That's too high. When I sing high, my voice gets too big for my mouth. It don't come out right. Ridi. That's better, see. Ridi Pagliacci, vestibulia Pagliacci.
Some other time, Pat. There's a herd of cattle right outside of town, and we might start a stampede.
Well, I see you've already met my niece. Abby's from Chicago. She's very fond of the West, comes out here every chance she gets.
You plan to stay out here, Miss Abby?
I'm afraid not. My vacation ends when school starts.
Abby's a school teacher, so naturally she's interested in children and their welfare. I told her a little of your plan, Gene. Why don't you tell her more about it? Sit down, boys. Make yourselves at home.
I understand you'll start a boys' ranch out here. I think it's a fine idea.
Well, it's not exactly my idea, Miss Abby.
Gene's going to run the ranch. Mrs. Weston left it to him in her will.
She didn't leave it to me, Pat. The will says it's to be a place for boys.
Meaning bad boys.
There's no such thing as bad boys, Miss Abby. Just boys with a bad start.
Look these over, Gene. By the terms of Mamie Weston's will, she leaves the Flying W completely in your charge, with one reservation. That if, in my opinion, as administrator of the estate, you fail to make the ranch a safe and proper home for boys, it reverts entirely to her only living son, Big Jim Weston. You know, it's unbelievable that a fine woman like Mamie Weston could have a son like him. You've heard of Big Jim, bank robber, notorious leader of the Weston gang.
He won't give us no trouble.
He can't give us any trouble.
But if Big Jim can make your boys' ranch fail, then he inherits it for himself, doesn't he?
Where he's sitting, he can't make us fail. Big Jim's in prison for life.
Just sign on the last line, Gene.
May I sign, too?
You, Abby? Sign what?
I want to sign for duty at the boys' ranch. You'll have to have a school teacher, won't you? Well, I'm a school teacher, remember? And I like your plan.
Might be a pretty tough job.
Well, I'm not looking for an easy job.
Besides, she doesn't want to go back to Chicago.
All right, Miss Abby. You're hired. Well, fellas, the stage ought to be here in a minute with our first batch of Rangers. Now, these kids are a long way from home, so let's make them feel welcome.
Yes, sir.
I wonder what's holding up the stage.
Maybe one of them kids is.
Come on, Miss Abby.
Hello, Gene. Boys, this is Gene Autry.
Hi, fellas. Glad to have you with us. Get your bags out and pile in the wagon. That's Pat Buttram and the Cass County boys.
Gene, this is Dennis, Walter, George, and Tony.
How are you, fellas?
Wait a minute. There's one boy missing.
None there, lady. See for yourself.
Well, where is he?
Don't ask me. My job's to ride guard, not hold hands with the
Well, he
passengers.
must have fallen out. Guard, wait a minute. Tell the driver we'll have to go back.
Sorry, lady. We've got a schedule. Take it away, Buck. Up!
You're not going to look for him back down the road.
Where else?
You might try the coach. I seen a little fella crawl under the luggage tarp. Let him go, Gene. Maybe the little shaver don't want to be a cowboy.
Hold it, driver. Hold it.
Oh! Oh! Hold it, driver. You got a stowaway in the boot of your coach. I'll take him off your hands. She's got no time to settle down. She gives my heart the runaround. That gallivanting, Galveston gal. She only wants to kiss and run, 'cause she's so busy having fun. That gallivanting, Galveston gal. I'd like to ask her to be mine, but she sure makes it tough. How can I pop the question? She don't sit still long enough. She's leading me a merry chase, what I go through just to embrace that gallivanting, Galveston gal.
She doesn't give me half a chance to let romance begin. So if I want some lovin', I just have to fence her in.
I'll get her in my arms someday and never let her get away. That gallivanting, Galveston gal.
Not San Antone.
That gallivanting, Galveston gal.
She's not from Dallas.
That gallivanting, Galveston gal. All right, Rangers, dismount. And welcome to the Flying A Ranch.
Autry says he'll keep us all here as long as we work. So get to work.
It's a waste of time. I figure Autry's going to get rid of us anyhow.
Autry won't have us fired, because I'm going to get him fired.
All right, fellas, run along with Miss Abby. She'll show you where to put your gear.
This way, Rangers.
You tried to run away before you got here, Lefty. Why?
Same reason I tried to run away from reform school.
This is no reform school,
It's still a school.
but it's a ranch. Look over there in the corral. That's little champ. Just your size. Think you can ride him?
What you think I am, a dude? I bet I could ride that pony with both hands tied behind my back.
Well, I bet you can, too. Richter, Robeson, saddle little champ.
All right. I'll get the saddle. You pick a pat of that cactus.
Say, why did they call you Lefty?
'Cause I'm fast to the left.
What's your real name?
Lagan?
Your first name?
None of your business.
You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. All right. Let's take a ride, Lefty. All right. Up you go.
Here, let me snug up that cinch for you, kid.
Are you all right? Sure. Gene, if you're going to do things like this, I'm afraid you won't be running the ranch very long. You can't put a mere child on a wild horse.
The champ never acted like this before.
Hey, Gene! A cactus pad under the saddle.
Who put it there?
Well, maybe it got caught in the cinch when I was dragging the saddle from the barn.
You checked that cinch. Didn't you feel thorns in there?
I got gloves on.
So have I. Shake. How'd you get cactus thorns in your gloves?
It was him, that big tramp. He did it himself. He stuck that cactus in the cinch.
Shut up, you.
Why don't you pick on somebody your size?
You're my size, Autry.
You keep out of this.
Use your left, Gene.
Come along, young man.
Don't you want to see the fight?
I'm a school teacher. Fighting is something I've never learned. Why doesn't Gene try a straight left and a quick right cross?
You sure learn fast, teacher.
Get up on your feet. You're fired, Robeson. Now pick up your gear and get off this ranch.
Gene! Gene! Can I talk to you for a minute?
Why, sure, Lefty.
I'm sorry.
Sorry for what?
You asked me what my first name was. My real first name. You said it was none of your business.
Maybe it's not. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
Well, I want to. Can you keep a secret?
If you say so.
My first name. It's Leonidas. Leonidas Lagan.
Why, that's a good name.
The kids don't think so.
Well, you just tell the kids to look it up in the dictionary. Leonidas means the lion.
Some kids won't believe it.
Then you've got a left jab. Always defend your name, son. Just like you defend your country when you have to.
I think I'm gonna like it out here, Gene.
That's fine. Well, mount up, Ranger. this? Hey!
Come on, you guys, let's play ball.
Don't tell me we're having beans and bacon again.
No, ma'am, Miss Abby. Today we're having beans and stew.
These Rangers are growing boys. Can't you cook anything but beans?
Just taste that soup, Miss Abby.
Vegetable?
No, ma'am, that's genuine navy beans.
There's one bat I won't break. It's a branding iron.
Let me see that. Where'd you get it?
I found it under the bunkhouse steps. I figured nobody wanted it anymore.
SR. Why, that's not the Flying A branding iron.
Sure not. I figured it was Stan Richter's brand before you came here, when he was foreman.
Gee, lunch is ready.
I'm not hungry now, Miss Abby.
Lefty, come back here, young man. Lunch is ready. I'm not hungry either.
You want to try a swell appetizer? I invented it myself. It's toasted cracker with bean spread.
Contract between Stan Richter and a meatpacking company. The meatpacking company's not to blame, it's Richter.
Well, blame for what?
For selling cattle that didn't belong to him under his own brand. You know, a branding iron like that you found, the SR.
You gonna arrest him?
Not right now, he ain't. I'll take those.
When the widow Weston died, why, you thought you'd drain this ranch dry, didn't you?
Meaning what?
Meaning that her only son, your boss, Big Jim Weston, is in prison for life and can't defend himself.
You've got it all wrong, mister. The Flying W is now the Flying A.
So that spoiled your plans, and you tried to get rid of me.
I ain't never done nothing to you.
No, but you tried. First, you tried to frame me with that pinto pony. When that didn't work, you went to work on the boy by putting the cactus pad under Little Champ's saddle to cause an accident.
Why, Gene?
Because he knew if something happened to one of my rangers, I'd lose the ranch. And he'd have everything for himself. With Big Jim in prison, Richter could sell Western cattle under his own brand.
Now, I'll turn this kid loose if you don't follow me.
Thanks, Ranger. Now get. Richard, the Flying A's always had a policy of giving the man a second chance. And I'm going to give you a second chance, only it won't be here. Now, you and your men get your gear and get out of here.
You heard what Gene said. Beat it.
Get the horse.
Just a minute. Those horses are wearing the Flying W brand. They now belong to the Flying A. They stay here. Beat it.
I'm glad I don't have to get out myself, like them fellas. I'm glad I get my second chance, right here.
Better hit the saddle, Ranger. We'll be late for lunch. Oh, it was like I learned a long time ago. When a man rides this big open west, he feels bigger himself. He sort of grows up, expands like the country around him. The same thing is true for a boy.